2 Men in a Truck drivers are on the roads daily, and there will be times when drivers are required to drive through weigh stations and to complete inspections by officers. The drivers are required to complete these to stay in compliance with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, FMCSA, rules and regulations. Drivers must understand how to weigh their trucks for long-distance moves, as well as understand how to drive through weigh stations and how to complete roadside inspections. This video will specifically discuss interstate moves, which are defined as moves that cross state lines. However, these processes could be used at the franchise daily. As always, before starting any day at 2 Men in a Truck, drivers should begin their logbook before starting their daily vehicle inspection reports. For more information on completing a logbook, contact your manager or visit Stickman University. Regulations can be found in Section 395 of the FMCSA regulations. All 2 Men in a Truck drivers per Section 396 of the FMCSA regulations should complete a proper pre-trip inspection before leaving in any commercial motor vehicle, CMV. Some franchises may have policies or procedures which require all employees to complete inspections on all vehicles, not just CMVs. This could include inspecting personal vehicles if they are being used for the benefit of the franchise. For more information on completing a proper DVIR, contact your manager or visit Stickman University. In addition to inspecting the working condition of the vehicle per Section 396, all drivers should ensure they have the following paperwork in their vehicle before leaving: insurance documentation, registration, annual inspection form, safety equipment, trip permits if applicable, and emergency cards. If a driver does not have one or more of these documents, they should see their manager before leaving the franchise. Most importantly, a driver should never leave the franchise without the following driver documents in their possession: driver's license, medical card, and road test certification. Intrastate moves are all moves completed within state lines. Regulations will vary by state, but the majority of the weighing requirements are similar for intrastate moves as they are for interstate moves. As the mover and driver are loading items into the truck, it's important to make sure the truck is packed properly according to FMCSA Regulations Section 392.9. Proper cargo securement is required by law. For more information on cargo securement, contact your franchise manager or DOT compliance at 2men.com. After loading the customer's belongings, drivers should take the CMV to the nearest DOT certified scale to weigh the load. Before leaving for the job, the driver should determine which scale will be used after the load. If the driver is not sure where to take the CMV, they should contact the franchise manager. The majority of 2 Men in a Truck CMV's gross vehicle weight rate, also known as GVWR, are 26,000 pounds. If you are unsure what the GVWR is on the vehicle being operated, check the vehicle's license plate or contact a manager. There are a few reasons why a driver would need to take the CMV to a certified scale before going to the unload site. There are different types of estimates that a customer can receive. One type of estimate, referred to as a non-binding estimate, is determined by the actual weight of the shipment. To ensure compliance with the FMCSA regulations, drivers should guarantee the weight of the shipment to make sure the CMV is at or below 26,000 pounds. If the CMV is overweight at 26,001, the driver and franchise could be subject to citations and violations that are costly to both the driver and franchise. This could also impact the customer experience if a shipment is stopped due to weight issues. The weight is also an important factor in determining valuation for a customer's shipment if it is damaged. Having the actual weight of the shipment will help take out the guesswork during a customer dispute. Some franchises have their own scales that are portable or scales that are built into the CMV. Once the driver arrives at the DOT certified scale, the following steps should be followed. Roll down the window, pay attention to posted signs, drive the CMV over the scale, pay for the weigh slip, and collect the weigh slip. It is also very important that the mover is awake and assisting the driver. All drivers must collect the weigh slips before exiting the scales. These weigh slips are critical documents and should be kept in the driver's clipboard. A copy should be given to the customer, and the original and remainder of copies should be given to management so they can file accordingly based on FMCSA regulations. As stated previously, all commercial motor vehicles are categorized and regulated by gross vehicle weight ratings to help identify requirements such as size of the truck, necessary components like tires, brakes, or shocks, as well as the necessary training and licensing. These requirements are all in place to protect the safety and condition of the public roadways. With regard to truck weight and weigh station etiquette, DOT officers will be looking at a variety of behaviors while drivers are coming through the weigh station. All 2-men-in-a-truck drivers should take the following steps to avoid being pulled over at a weigh station. It is important to be respectful, be patient, be prepared, and have your paperwork ready. Also be pleasant and in uniform. Be sure your passenger is awake and alert, and roll down your window. Keep a clean truck and a clear dashboard. Also, turn down the radio, stay buckled up, and be sure your orange seatbelt cover is visible. Know the DOT laws, keep up a neat and tidy appearance, and act like the professional that you are. Don't use sarcasm regardless of the obvious nature of questions you may need to answer. Do not speed through the scale, and don't make any jokes about illegal activity. Do not use your cell phone or Bluetooth. This goes for movers as well. Don't slam on your brakes on the scales. It is very important that you do not smoke or spit tobacco in the scale area. Do not have trash or other obstructions on the dashboard, and do not argue under any circumstances with the officer. Keep all of these items in mind as you enter a weigh station or undergo a roadside inspection. It's important to first pay attention to whether upcoming weigh stations are open or closed. To do this, you will want to pay close attention to the roadside signage. Approximately 1 mile before coming upon a weigh station, you will see a sign indicating whether the weigh station is open or closed. If the weigh station is open, you must enter the weigh station even in a rental vehicle. As you enter the weigh station, you want to be alert and looking for any signage or lights that would indicate speed limit and/or lane position. Once you've identified and complied with those items, check your following distance from the truck in front of you. Your rate of speed should never exceed 5 miles per hour, and you should allow approximately 100 feet between yourself and the next truck when exiting the freeway and entering the weigh station. There are 2 major types of weigh stations, static and dynamic. Static weigh stations require that the truck be completely stationary on the scale momentarily to capture the truck's weight. A dynamic weigh station requires that the truck roll through the weigh station while paying close attention to the signal light. The signal light will direct you to either continue onward with a green light or stop for further review with a red light. If a driver is pulled over at a weigh station, there is a chance the driver could receive a citation. If the driver is cited, the following process should be followed. Once the driver receives the citation, she or he should call the franchise manager immediately before leaving the weigh station while parked in a safe location without the keys in the ignition. Some managers may ask for the driver to send a picture of the citation. The driver should keep a copy of the citation in a safe spot because the motor carrier or franchise is required to keep those records under FMCSA regulations. If the driver is issued an out-of-service order as part of the citation, that means the driver cannot operate the CMV until the item the driver was cited for is corrected. Under no circumstances should the driver operate the CMV when issued an out-of-service order. Managers will help direct the driver in these situations. All driver citations will impact not only the driver that received the citation, but also the franchise. Driver citations will show up on the driver's pre-employment screening program, also known as PSP record. All roadside citations and violations will show up on the motor carrier or franchise's compliance, safety, and accountability, also known as CSA scores. These citations will stay with the motor carrier franchise for 2 years and the driver's record for 3 years. Under no circumstances should a driver argue or dispute a citation with an officer. Managers can dispute citations through a system called DataQ if the citation is incorrect. Inspections aren't necessarily negative, especially those that result in no citations for the driver or the motor carrier. If you receive an inspection, make sure to let your manager know because it will show up on the franchise's Compliance, Safety, and Accountability, also known as CSA scores. In most cases, drivers should receive a sticker from the officer if they receive a Level 1 inspection. These stickers are placed on the truck that received the clean inspection and will limit the amount of roadside inspections for an entire year. Depending on the type of sticker received, some stickers can serve as a vehicle's annual inspection for another year. As you can see, there are many details for drivers to remember while out on the roadways. If you have more questions, please contact your manager or DOT Compliance at 2men.com.